collection of the best helicopter games, which includes both realistic simulators and arcade games. Most of the proposed projects are dedicated to combat helicopters, but there are also those that allow you to try yourself as a pilot of civilian helicopters for various purposes. Heliborne. Our top game opens called Heliborne from the JetCat Games studio. A large number of real combat helicopters are available in the game, and the story company is full of many exciting missions based on the largest military conflicts in the history of mankind, from 1950 to 2000. In addition to the campaign, Heliborne has a random quest mode, co-op, and multiplayer. In the latter, players can engage in air battles on one of the 5 global maps, choosing any of the more than 40 helicopters available here with several weapon options. A feature of Heliborne is a unique flight model that combines the real features of the behavior of helicopter in the air and its technical data, over 70 parameters in total, with arcade control, which of course will appeal to players who want to experience the excitement of a virtual flight without unnecessary difficulties. One of the best modern combat helicopter simulators dedicated to the flying tank, the Russian Mi-24. The game has nice modern graphics, chic sound design, but most importantly high-quality gameplay, based on a reliable simulation of the behavior of the Mi-24 in the air and an impressive amount of weapons available to it. Air missions. Hind features a single-player campaign of 15 missions, multiplayer, and a mission editor. There are also 3 control modes, differing in complexity. This will allow you to quickly master the game, even for novice users of helicopter simulators. DCS World is a popular modern combat aviation simulator, for which there are many additional modules dedicated to helicopters. You can download the game itself for free, but you will have to pay for add-ons with helicopters. Despite its venerable age, released in 2001, Comanche 4 is still one of the favorite games in the helicopter simulator genre for many. And this is quite understandable. If you close your eyes to the graphics, the rest of the elements in Comanche 4 are made at a very high level. There is also a variety of missions, and quite realistically recreated a variety of locations, cities, military bases, tropical islands, jungles, and so on, and multiplayer support, and many other interesting things. The most important feature of the game is the presence of the legendary combat helicopter, Comanche 66, with all the weapons and technical features available to it. At the same time, the controls in Comanche 4 are distinguished by grace and ease, which is sorely lacking in many modern helicopter simulators. Thunder Wolves. A fun arcade helicopter game from Most Wanted Entertainment released in 2013. Thunder Wolves is perfect for those who want to experience all the joys of flying on a helicopter, but do not want to spend time getting acquainted with all the intricacies of control in realistic simulators. The plot of Thunder Wolves focuses on a squad of aerial mercenaries called Thunder Wolves who fight against terrorism around the world. In total, the game has more than a dozen missions, the action of which takes place in 4 hotspots, divided into locations. Each location is filled with a huge amount of enemy equipment and manpower, as well as various defensive fortifications, and all this can be destroyed to the ground. Using for this an impressive arsenal of modular weapons for each of the 9 helicopters present here. There is also an online mode in Thunder Wolves, which allows you to play the game in the company of a friend. Apache Air Assault. Attack helicopter simulator from Gaijin Entertainment, released on PC and consoles in 2010. In it, the player will be able to fully experience the full power of the Apache A-64D longbow, considered one of the most advanced and deadly attack helicopters in the world, along with the Soviet Mi-24. A feature of Apache Air Assault is a realistic model of the behavior of the machine in the air, an extensive weapon system, and a faithfully recreated cockpit environment. Realism is also added by powerful sound effects and an epic soundtrack created with the participation of a live orchestra. The gameplay is divided into 16 missions, quite expectedly dedicated to the fight against terrorism. There are also training missions and team operations. The only thing you have to be prepared for in Apache Air Assault is the confusing, even by the standards of a helicopter sim, controls that will take a lot of fiddling to get things right. Take on Helicopters. Helicopter simulator from the developers of the Arma series, Bohemia Interactive Studio. which tried to embody all its many years of experience in creating simulators and take on helicopters. The game is a simulator of civilian helicopters, the impressive fleet of which is divided into 3 classes. Each has its own technical features, a set of equipment, a unique flight model, and is designed to perform certain tasks. The gameplay is divided into several modes: Story Company, Free Mode, and 2 types of challenges. There is also a multiplayer mode, Training and Mission Editor. The gameplay offered in Take on Helicopters is at least curious: a variety of tasks and a world divided into 2 large-scale locations, Seattle and South Asia, will not let fans of virtual flights get bored for at least a few hours. Complementing this whole picture is realistic flight dynamics based on the unique RT Dynamics middleware and no less realistic graphics. To put it bluntly, this is one of the most beautiful games on our list of helicopter simulators. Fair Strike, Helicopter Simulator by G5 Software. The plot of Fair Strike is dedicated to the rather hackneyed topic of combating international terrorism and drug trafficking, and visually the game of the early 2000s does not cause delight. The gameplay is divided into a number of quite standard missions: destruction, escort, reconnaissance, and so on. At the same time, the high degree of destructibility of the 3D objects presented at the locations is pleasing, as well as the participation of an impressive amount of equipment on both sides, more than 100 types in total. There is a network game mode. The set of celestial machines available for flight is not very large, only 6 helicopters, but each of them is distinguished by the realism of the flight model, design, and weapon system. It is also possible to customize the behavior of equipment in the air, thereby determining the degree of realism and complexity of control. More than a dozen such parameters in total. Attack Helicopter Dating Simulator. An unusual game about helicopters, which is significantly different from other representatives of the selection. This is an anime-style visual novel, Attack Helicopter Dating Sim. Yes, in this game, you will build relationships with military equipment, including the Mi-24 and the famous Apache US-64. In the process of passing, you have to choose the answers and follow the dialogues on the screen. The plot is built depending on the actions taken. And if you think that this game is absurd, then we hasten to convince you. It's funny, relaxing, and has a lot of local gags that only those with even a little knowledge of helicopter technology will understand. Comanche. Helicopter simulator dedicated to different types of Comanches. Driving directly from the cockpit, the player will overcome obstacles and destroy enemies, at sea, in the air, and on land. 3 modes are available: training, single-player campaign, and competitive multiplayer. Each type of equipment has its own characteristics, strengths and weaknesses, weapons. In addition to the Comanches, the game allows you to control small drones, which, despite their size, impress with devastating weapons. At the time of writing, the game is in early access, and a lot of planned content is not yet available. Helicopter Simulator. This game involves realistic helicopter control of the features, real physics of technology, various first-person immersion procedures, refueling, pre-flight checks, cargo loading, own hangar with an extensive helicopter fleet. The gameplay involves completing missions in the vast game world. First of all, the game will appeal to those who want to learn the skills of a helicopter pilot or learn more about it. There is no dynamic action and hot shootings here. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. Join this channel to get access to perks. Subscribe, watch our other videos, press thumbs up, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.